I do that. I do that sometimes. Good evening, everyone. You are on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. Thank you for showing up. I promise I have sound. There's total sound now, right? Let's get a 5x5 just in case. My systems say that it's working. My systems say it works. There we go. West Coast Fancy Nancy. Hey there. Jason P. Pajama Pixie. Good evening, all. Scooby Lee, Brazy Girl, Shannon Smith, Casey, Sweet Tea, Chow Yun Smut. Thank you for that email, Chow Yun Smut. I appreciate that. Dawn Gloves, Peggy Dooley, Jacob Skousen. I'll read you, sir. Happy Tuesday. Blessed to Crochet. Good to see you. Tara Smiling. Valerie 102. I got a little bit lost in chat just now. So if I say your name twice, you're just lucky. You're special. But I may lose track of who I've said. Sue B, Christian B, and the seventh son. Welcome in all. Welcome in, welcome in. How you doing, Christian? It's good to see you. It is good to see you. Crazy girl. I know I already said your name, but I just wanted to say it again. Kristen Melinda. Check it out, guys. I was watching I think it was my Friday evening boat last week. So like 5 days ago, something like that. And it was when I told that story about Lucy. And I was like trying to put together a show and I was watching this at the same time, which was not smart, but it was really cool to rewatch some of that. I got to see a bunch of comments that I didn't see before. And I got to like watch myself. And I thought it was really, really cool. Here, I'm going to come eye level. Let's get some eye level going on. But I forgot what I was going to say. Kristen Melinda had a really sweet comment that I didn't notice the first time. And I forgot what it was, so I don't know why I brought it up now. But shout out to Kristen Melinda being very thoughtful. And I thought, so I had this great idea. You guys want to hear about it? I guess I should do my housekeeping first. The Admiral will be live this evening at 7:30. He's going to be doing a 7:30 slot for the foreseeable future. He told me that that's what he wants to do, and I said, go for it. Please hold. Good evening. You are on the lifeboat. No. Let me call you back after, yeah? It'll be like an hour. All right, much love, dude. Bye. Shout out to Hunt Nasty, the resident expert. That's my guy. It's my guy, Hunter. I love it when my dad does that. I feel like he does it better somehow. I need to go watch him do that, I guess, and then pull the same kind of shenanigans on my friends. Both times I've done that, the person in question has tried to speak to the lifeboat, and they aren't sure if they're able to be heard or not. So maybe I should put them on speakerphone, but I'm nervous, you know? You never know what my wild friends might just let come out of their mouth, you know? So probably not. Day B, I see you. Hey there. I am the Noise Opera. Just Pauline. Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, hi, how you doing? It's Wheezy F Baby. The softer side of our sweet captain. Aw. Yeah, that's a gamble. That's what Jake says. Jake knows. Blessed to Crochet. Had a busy day yesterday. Most of the day spent watching movies with my husband and crocheting and just chilling. It's been nice. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's beautiful. I love that. Miss Sunrise Dawn and Awakened by the Looking Glass. Hey, guys. You lurk it up. I love the lurk. Don't put us on speaker right away, he says. All right. Okay. Brenda. Heck yeah, Brenda. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to pull the trophy out for that one. I tell you what. Did you guys see me spill my coffee on myself this morning? I'm sorry, I'm squirreled right there. Brenda is journaling. I'm so happy about that. This is the beginning of a new chapter. where you write down your thoughts and then you can refer to them later. In fact, when I was trying to I had this idea that I'm going to tell you about, right? And I was trying to put together a show for it, and I have my journal here, and I was like, I went to the very first page. This was my journal when I got sober the very, very first time. I remember I was talking about, maybe it was in a different forum that I was talking about it, but I found in here step work from AA. I found in here pieces of an inventory. I found in here amends letters, like I was practicing. I like to do it in person. I found in here dream journals. I found a treasure trove of old stuff in here, and that's what you're going to have, Brenda. Whatever you write in there is like going to be in there forever. So if you ever find yourself like, I found stuff from 2021 in here in 2020. And I got to, I don't know, it's just a really cool thing to have. And I don't know if this was the first time I've experienced like this kind of elation at looking back on the old stuff, but like it was wild. It was really cool experience. I might read to you some of my dreams because they're pretty wild, but maybe not. Let's get through this housekeeping so I can share my idea, my ambitious idea. Yeah, the Admiral is going to be doing 7:30 p.m. Carol at Needing a Meeting will be doing 1:40 p.m. on the weekdays. You can catch her over on her channel, Carol at Needing a Meeting, and also here on The Lifeboat. I encourage you to go check her channel out. She's wonderful. They are a little bit more casual, but we all have the same goal here. Dusty Soda Fountain calling all squirrels. Colt water this weekend. Oh my. I just recently found my old notebooks from rehab in 2013. Oh Lord, Jake. Those are probably heavy. Okay, you want the ambitious idea, Tara? I will give it to you. I feel like I'm missing out on some stuff, though. You guys are connecting. I just want to read real quick. It did hurt, Brenda. It did. In fact, which one was it? Some of it is just so foreign as far as like the mindset that I was in is so far removed from where I am now. It's like, okay, like it doesn't hold the same emotional power anymore. Like the first page was pretty rough, or it was far enough removed where I didn't really feel like I've processed through that. But the one that was hard was, where'd it go? I got to remind myself. These are dreams. So there's one from November 1st. Doesn't say the year. I talk about getting up at 11:40 in the morning. So right before noon, making coffee and doing yoga immediately. And then I talk about committing to smoking less tobacco, smoking less weed, and drinking less. So I was not sober on this date. And then I mention a girl. I don't know if we were together or just thinking about seeing each other or had like just met, but I mentioned a girl that I would go on to date and happily date. And then I talk about dreams and aspirations. And then the next entry on the other side of a bunch of step work, I feel like they're not connected. The next entry is November 6th, 2021. Let me see. What was that date we just said? This one was hard. And it just gets harder. Like I can watch myself spiral down in this notebook, basically, is what I'm getting at. I'm sorry it's taking me so long. 5 days later, I imagine, is what this is. 5 days later, I write, woke up with this girl that I'm not going to name. Made oatmeal with raspberries, blackberries, and apples. She's doing yoga. As I write this, I feel so blessed and grateful. And then I talk about my environment. I was feeling sick that morning. And then I did affirmations. I am abundantly blessed. I am grateful. I am present. And then at the very, very bottom in tiny letters, I wrote, I had a one-piece pirate dream, which was pretty cool. So that was cool, right? Like, up, that's a step up. Then I found some really heavy shit that I'm not going to talk about. The next entry is tragic. I find my life increasingly blessed and wonderful. At the same time, I find myself deeper into the abyss on a regular basis. Why is this? do I feel subconsciously undeserving? Why do I punish myself so? I accept the gifts and blessings of my life and embrace a wondrous experience, the likes of which I have never known, and I deserve it. What if I didn't fight so hard against my destiny? What if I just embraced the flow? And I remember being crushed when I wrote that. I remember just feeling so lost. And then the next entry says, I decided not to drink yesterday. That's how it starts, as my habit has led me to increasingly distasteful and unpleasant places. And it's just depressing. It gets worse and worse from there. So it is hard. It is hard. But that is a smack dab. That is a home run full of perspective there for me. Because look at me now. Look at where I'm at now. The way I feel today, what I'm doing with my life today, where I have arrived, and what I'm working on. It's a far cry from that. And that is a blessing. That is something I'm very grateful for. Maybe I'm better now. Thanks, Valerie. But so that leads me right into my great idea. Maybe this isn't such a great idea. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference for us. All right, my ambitious idea. So did I write it down? I did. So talk about it Tuesdays. We've been trying to come up with recurring themed days. Story time is definitely going to be a thing. I enjoyed that so much. I might do it again today because my ambitious idea was so ambitious I couldn't put it together in time for the show. So I'm going to tell you about it to tease you, and then we're just going to knock it out of the park when I come back with it. But I think we'll do story time today. But anyways, ambitious idea. Talk about it Tuesdays. What if I were to present a situation or an experience, or what was the other word I used? It was really good. Hold on, I have it written here too. A story. So not like story time, not where like the whole thing was the story and then we talk about it. But like I'll present an experience, a story, a situation, or a set of circumstances. I haven't figured it out yet, right? It's still like just a raw idea. But then we can break it down and peel the onion together. The idea behind this is, so we've been doing the journal prompts, right? And I think it's helping a lot. I'm starting to get responses and comments, and people are starting to write. I think that's great. It's serving its purpose. I think we can do more. I think I can do more. I think we can do more. I think that with this format, it's completely separate from the journal prompts. When we present something, we can break it down together, right? We can basically act out peeling the onion with something that I've already peeled the onion on, right? Something that I've already done. Like an experience that I've had. I was thinking that this would be a personal experience I would share, or something that I have experience with, or something from my inventory that I've crossed off, right? So like a real situation that's over and done with, and I've already peeled the onion, right? But I can walk you guys through what I did. We can even I would like it to be an interactive thing. I don't want to present and then present. I want to present and then we break it down together, right? I don't want to necessarily just show you how I broke it down. I'd like to present a situation or, this, that, or the other. This is a very broad idea, and I need to hone it in. I need to really define it. Sue B, the journal prompts are in the community section of our YouTube channel, and I can show you right now. I love using the share screen button because I should be using it to present things and I don't. So I'm going to show you where the community page is. Unless I could just show you though, because I like showing. Ooh, what song is this? Christian metal bands never fail to impress me. What am I doing? I'm showing you the community tab. That's right. Okay, let's share the screen. Let's do, which one is it? This one? Okay, my channel. I guess I actually have to put it on the screen. All right, you with me here? So here is, if you click on, where am I at? If you click on, so this is my homepage, just like what my feed is. If I just click on, I guess I should be on a different account. If you click on the lifeboat, like where the name is, it'll bring you here to the actual channel. And then there's all these tabs: home, video, shorts, live, playlists, community. We click on community, and every night after the evening, so when this is done, I'll post another one, but I post the evening prompt for your journal. It's just a question to get you started, or like a topic to get you started writing. It's just something, it's a tool to like help people get out of their shell and start journaling, right? And I'll write the morning one for the following day as well. So I hope that was helpful. Conversations with Christine. Good to see you. Hey, hey, hey there. Show us, show us, show us. So you guys like that interactive idea? That's pretty cool, right? Sounds good, Blessed to Crochet. It sounds like we're going to have Blessed to Crochet on tomorrow as well. Yeah, so I really wanted to do that today. I was like all ambitious and on fire, and I was like, I'm gonna put it together right now. It's gonna be great. So then I made the title and everything. It didn't quite work out. So I'm thinking maybe we do another story time. I know that there's probably some people out there that are really in need of some recovery. So before we just go into story time, um, I want to give the opportunity for any lurkers out there to speak up. If anyone out there is hurting today, if anyone out there is really, really struggling, or just struggling a little bit and they just need to talk about it, let's talk about it. Because that's important to me. That's what this thing's all about. Into the flood of your awakening. Flood. Brazy is pretty darn awesome, isn't she? I'm a fan. I'm a fan. All right, I'm scrolling back to the bottom. Let's see where we're at. Got some freaking struggles, my dude, lol. I tell you what, me too, Guac. Tell me about it. What's going on? How was your day? What are we dealing with? And I don't necessarily know if this is the best way for me to do that, right? But now that you're speaking up, I'm addressing you. We can do it privately on whatever you're comfortable with. But we are here to help. So I just wanted to make sure that I didn't completely avoid the point of what we do here today. So yeah, I'll be looking at the chat. Let's talk about it if you'd like to. I definitely want to be here. I want to make sure that I'm available. Yeah, throw a bit out there, whatever you're comfortable with, Guac. I guarantee you there's people here that relate. I guarantee you there's people here that have similar experiences, probably not exactly the same because we're all very unique, right? But I tell you what, though, I am also a guacaholic. There's nothing wrong with that. Becca Jean's been prelapsing lately. Haven't done it yet, but the urge. I wish it would just stop already. Interesting. Is it just incessant? Does it keep coming back stronger and stronger? I feel like that's a sign that, and I'm not getting on you at all. I'm sure that you're doing everything you can, right? But often that's a sign that what we're doing isn't enough or isn't proper. Like there needs to be a slight switch. Often when my disease rears its ugly head, it's like simply a sign that I'm doing something wrong, that I'm missing something, that something in my life is unsustainable, right? Something in my life is going to lead me to that place, right? The first thing when I start experiencing, where'd it go? When I start realizing that I've been prelapsing and I start getting urges and stuff like that, the first thing that I do is I take like a little inventory in my head. It's like, well, what could this be due to? What am I doing? I'm doing this right. I'm doing this right. I haven't been doing this. Maybe that's it. I should double down on this tomorrow. Maybe I should double down on this one right now. I'm counting on my fingers. Y'all can't see. We got 1, 2, and then we went to 3 on the ring finger. But guacaholic. A few weeks ago, I failed a drug screen, got kicked out of my sober living. Oh no. Jake and I have been here, I feel like. I can't speak for Jake. I've been here. Told my girlfriend, now ex. A fight erupted. She started throwing her fists into my face. Had to put her in a headlock. Oh my lord. You have had the worst day ever. Made her promise she'd stop before I let her go and she'd start again. That repeated for a while. Oh my. Guac, it gets worse and worse. Oh my. Well, I'm glad you're speaking. I'm glad you're alive. I don't know exactly what the rest of the situation. I was going to say some things that would have been assumptions. I'm glad you're not in that situation anymore. I'm glad you're not with her. Yeah, let's get some ones for Guac. You guys are already on it. Hey Pop, how you doing? I see you. We're doing the thing here, Admiral. We are doing good work here. Yeah, Guac, are you all right? Are you safe? I mean, obviously you're not living in your sober living and you're not with the girl that, that you were loving on the other day. So, I mean, but are you safe? So eventually I left, started using drugs immediately, spent $4,000 between then and now, living in a house, paying rent, been sober since last Wednesday. Oh my Lord. So, dude, since the last time we've seen you, you have been on the roller coaster and off. I am so sorry to hear that has been your reality, dude. That's not an experience anyone would like to have. Sober since last Wednesday, though, dude. You're already, what is that, 5 days, 6 days? Oh, dude, what's going on with my eyes? Maybe I just need to put those glasses on that the Seventh Son sent me. What a guy, Seventh Son. Shout out to Seventh. That's my guy right there. Yeah, congrats on the clean time, dude. That is a big deal. The rapid turnaround on that, like we can all, I think literally everybody here can relate with having your life blow up in your face, burying it with drugs or substance, and then realizing what you've done. And you did all of that in a very, very rapid, and now you're back. So that's a good thing. In my mind, that is a good sign. It seems to me either this isn't your first time doing this, or you have some natural resiliency about you, because that turnaround's pretty quick, dude. That's a good thing. That is a good sign. And if that is the case, if this isn't your first time around, or I guess if you have some natural resiliency, either way, I think you're capable of doing this. I totally think so. Today, I needed a car inspection to continue driving for Lyft. Failed it because my front bumper that got ripped off the car in an accident a few days after the fight happened. Oh my. I'm sorry, dude. I am so sorry. It is amazing how quickly we can destroy ourselves. Does the sober living have like a take me back policy? How does that work? Well, Guac, I think that our goal here today is to change your opinion on that, because you are worth it. We do care, and we're not the only ones. You know your life is better without substance. But I'm also not beating you up. You know what I mean? Like, I've been exactly there. I know exactly what I know what you're going through. I feel like I have been exactly there. Thanks for sharing, by the way, Guac. Yeah, thank you for sharing. I definitely don't mean to put you on blast, but I recognize that sometimes we don't deal with the heavy, difficult stuff enough. Even though we do a lot of it, sometimes I graze right over it. And I just wanted to make sure that I didn't do that today. Yeah, you definitely have some decent resiliency, Guac. Dude, I would love if we could change this sentence to, wait, not that one, the other one. And I don't know how we do it, but I'm sure that there's a way. If we could change the sentence to, I'm only sober because I want to be, or like I'm only sober because my life is better because, or for whatever that reason is. But I can also totally understand not being able to spend your last money. I have to say, I have been in that position and then spent that money and been even worse off, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I got thoughts and prayers going out to Guac. Me too, seventh. Seventh says when I said I want time to myself, I wanted to be alone so I could drink. That used to be me. Yeah, iced autumn. I was just thinking that. Well, I mean, this is progress, Guac. This is the definition of progress, right there. Proof's in the pudding. So, I mean, it could always be worse, but we want the best for you, dude. Um, so, if there's anything that I can do, if there's anything that anyone else here can do to help you out, please let us know. We're always here. Please check in and let us know how you're doing because I personally want to know. I want to know how you're doing. This time I just kind of got a bunch of out of my system. None of it helped. I had to make the best with what I have left. Well, hey, man, you got yourself and your health, and I'm really happy about that. I'm really, really, really happy about that. She probably wasn't a keeper, and I'm sorry to say that. I try not to keep them when they punch me in the face. I'm sure you liked her. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to stop saying that, Rhonda. It's a bad habit. I also would like to stop saying like so much out of context, like a valley girl. I noticed that when I was watching myself today, but it's a work in progress. I do know what I'm talking about. You're right. Sometimes I say that when what I'm talking about or thinking about in that moment is like difficult to process. My brain is used to just like plowing through stuff. So when it gets stuck, that phrase comes out of my mouth sometimes. What's crazy is that I still crave this girl, dude. I'm telling you, things of the heart and matters of the heart are another universe entirely. We still talk every day. She wants me to come over right now, and I'm like, oh my, dude, I'm not a relationship counselor and I'm not an expert, but that seems toxic to me. Maybe you should go through for the breakup sex and then bail. And I've never done that before. I don't condone it, but I mean, I don't know. Just a thought that I had. Probably a terrible idea. Maybe don't do that. You know what it was? I was watching that video where we were talking about my love story and then all that breakup, makeup, sex thing happened. Yeah, yeah, good, Guap, good. Okay. Oh my gosh. That makeup sex, breakup sex conversation we had on Friday was hilarious to watch back though. Yeah, punching a partner is not the good stuff, Tara. I I blame Tommy Bird. He had me thinking about that yesterday, the other day. Hey, the general consensus was during that conversation that it was not a good idea. I don't know, Shannon. It was a concept brought to my attention for the first time the other day. Yeah, stay with us. I shouldn't joke like that. It's not a joke. Please stay. I'm glad we're laughing though. I'm glad we're laughing. All right. So you guys like my idea? What did you guys? Maybe I asked too many questions. What did you guys think about the love story of love and loss, the Spanx Calhoun story? What did you guys think about that when I talked about Lucy? Do you guys like that? I feel like I know the answer because it has more views than all my other videos, but I just wanted to have a brief dialogue about it before I tell you another one. Good, good. Audible lulls. That's what we're all about here. I was audibly lolling at when I was watching that episode of The Lifeboat. I tell you what, steer us. Huge shout out to Sandy Wandy and Awakened by the Looking Glass Reflection for your support on our show earlier tonight. Shout out to Steer Us. Hey, hey, hey. How you Darren? Oh, Tammy, is your son in detox? Oh my heck yes. Let's go. I'm scrolling up for the info now. Yes, yes. I've been praying for this, Tammy. I have been praying for this. And I'm not ashamed to say so. Very, very happy. I'm very proud. That's awesome, dude. We couldn't have asked for a better turnout on that. I tell you what, right where he needs to be. Let's get some ones for Tammy's son, anyways, because he probably needs them. You know, he's going through some hell right now, I imagine. I don't know, Kim. I do not recommend it. I've never done it before. I heard about it from a friend. Body Illusion says, "Oh yes, know you a little better." Krista Melinda says, "I loved hearing about your life and experiences." Miss Dragon, are you referring to my my love and loss story that was sad? Just checking. I really enjoy feedback. It was great. Enjoyed it. All right. Scrolling down. I didn't see that, Tammy. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I get lost in the sauce, and also sometimes I just miss stuff. I'm so glad, though. I'm so glad. I can't tell you. You guys are a riot. Well, no, we appreciate your uniqueness, Miss Dragon. I do, at the very least. I love you. Well, that does throw a wrench in my gears. The story I mean, most of the stories from my story time are probably sad. I should tell a story of triumph and glory probably instead, huh? I mean, the purpose of the Lucy and Love and Lost story was to get to know me a little better, right? And to kind of like get an idea of like some of the paths that I've walked, because they're very diverse roads that I've walked, and they don't necessarily like you would never know unless I told you, and they're all great stories. So, but I don't think that I think it's just natural that my brain wants to tell the sad stories. That doesn't mean there's not glorious, wonderful stories. It's just not what I've been thinking about, which is very strange. So thank you for saying that. Maybe I'll come up with a story of glory. Oh no. Miss Dragon, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I do things because I want to, but it touches me that that you care enough to. I mean, yeah, that you had that thought is wonderful, and it shows me that you care, and I love that. No, I totally share all the stories I share totally because I want to. And this one is kind of gonna cleanse my heart and my soul, and let you guys in on some much wanted information about the Mikester, about the Calhouninator. Jake, you might know the story. We're going to talk about my first love. I'm pretty sure you do know the story. I wanted to talk about my homie Tony, that's no longer with us, but I don't think I'm ready for that. So, in the famous words of Admiral Akbar, it's a trap. Lol. Lol. So yeah, I remember I was sharing about the Lucy story, right? And here, my neck hurts. Hold on. Oh, we were sharing about the Lucy story. And there was like a portion of the story where I punched somebody that was in my fire tribe. I feel like there was another portion where I touched on something. Oh, I guess the whole thing with my ex-best friend or whatever, where I wanted to beat him up, but I didn't because I knew his scars or whatever. I want to tell this story about my first love. I don't know what we're going to call her. Shoot. I don't even know. Don't even know. I'll come up with something. We'll call her until I come up with a better name, I guess. She knows who she is. I don't think she's watching, but maybe she is. Who knows? Who knows? But I want to tell this story because there is a violence portion that was like a huge turning point in my life. It's one of the reasons I don't really get in fights anymore. I used to be the kind of kid that would rough you up. I definitely was the kind of kid that was not afraid to throw hands. And I was aggressive about it. I was not wasn't going to wait around to see if a fight was going to break out. Like if there was a fight on the wind, like I was going to start it. I was going to be the first. I was going to be the first one. First one in, first one out. But that's not how I operate anymore. That's not how I feel. That's not how I live. In fact, I don't know, but there was a huge turning point in my life, and it directly involves this girl, my first love. I was homeless in Fort Collins, Colorado. It was the year 2010. I had just graduated from high school somehow, blessing, and me and my friend that I had met in the homeless shelter that was my age. We had scrounged up some money, hustled up some money for Greyhound bus tickets to Colorado. And we found ourselves in Fort Collins, just homeless and living the dream, I guess. Not really. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times kind of thing. And that went on for 2 or 3 years, just running around like the Princes of Thieves out there in Fort Collins. Not living the best life, living a terrible, terrible, terrible life. And I got through it. The winters I would spend in a home. I either one of the winters I went back to Salt Lake with my grandparents. One of the winters I had a girlfriend. And then one of the winters I met this girl who I'm not going to name, even though I want to. One of those winters I had been, what part of the story is important? I guess this part is important. But since the first time I laid eyes on this girl, I was in love. It was just like in the movies, like you think it's not real kind of thing. And maybe I just made it real. I don't know. But I saw this girl and I was like, you are special. And we started dating immediately, pretty much. It was very strange. It was a very strange phenomenon. We were both in times of our life where things were very uprooted and different, right? I was homeless and she was a trust fund kid and had moved away from her parents to be rebellious and to do her own thing and get out from the yoke of her overlord parents, right? So two very different people in similar positions in their life, but also very different, right? Positions. And she let me live with her. She took me in. She showed me the best love. We were in love with each other. We probably still are. We don't really talk, but she reaches out now and again. And she had a son who I also will not name, but I was a stepdaddy for a while too. I would change diapers and I did all the functions of the man of the house. And it was really cool. It was I went from homeless to a family man real quick. And, it's not like I was the best family man ever, but I was, that was my goal, was to be the best family man ever. So I was doing everything I could, even though I definitely wasn't very good at doing a lot of things at that point in my life. But so we lived together and we had some I guess it's her place. She had some roommates that also paid rent. And it was a son who was my friend. I actually met this girl because I was coming to hang out with my buddy. And that's how I met her, because they were roommates. And so my homie was living there and his mom was living there. And this guy, I'm not going to say his name either. I want to. This guy was so, what's the right word? Abusive to his mother. Verbally, I never saw him physically put hands on her, but the way that he would speak to her, oh my Lord, I wanted to tear his throat out every time I like listened to this guy talk to his mom. And we were stopped being friends over this. Like I lost respect for him. Like you don't talk to women like that, and especially the person you came out of. What is wrong with you? And then one day, so that's the circumstance. I just set a stage. So those are the circumstances. The stage is set. I'm in the apartment complex computer lab one night applying for jobs. And my homie, who doesn't live with us, but just probably was, I think we were having a kickback at the house, had a couple friends over, drinking and smoking, whatever, listening to music. And my homie comes running in the computer lab, like breathless, like he was running to get to me. And he was like, yo, so-and-so put hands on so-and-so. And what he was saying was that this guy that was our roommate had gotten physically abusive with my girlfriend, not his mother, my girlfriend. So, and like the kid is home, right? I don't know. What just I like saw red immediately and like jumped up and ran back to the house. And by the time I got there, dude was gone. And everybody was like in a tizzy, like running around. It was so wild. I ran in there and I was like, what happened? And she told me what had happened. And then like his mother was still in the house with us. And I like noticed at this time that she was on the phone, and I can hear through the receiver, this guy who had just roughed up my girlfriend, like yelling at his mom, like doing the abusive thing. But like, it's so loud. I can hear it. Like if you're standing there and I'm standing here and there's a kitchen between us, I can hear his voice coming out of the phone. So not my proudest moment. I snatched the phone out of this lady's hands, and because I know who it is, and I'm like, listen here, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna blah 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 right now. Meet me outside. And he's like, that blah blah blah. He's like, I'm tough, yeah. And this is like one of I think the biggest regret of my entire life. If I really had to choose one, I try not to have regrets, but I could do without this choice that I made just here. I ran outside, took my tie-dye shirt off. I remember every detail of this so vividly. It's like a nightmare. I ran at this guy. He comes out shirtless with his big homie, like 6'3", huge guy, both shirtless. We come out like to the middle of the street. I run at him from my doorstep. So like there was no surprise. I'm running at you. He doesn't put his hands up, and I just sucker punched him, I guess. It wasn't an intentional sucker punch. I was like, I'm coming out to fight you. And then I came out and I fight you. You know what I mean? So I don't know what had happened, but he didn't block it, and I crushed him. He fell over and tried to get back up and could not get up. And that scared the crap out of me. And then his big homie was like kind of flustered, and I was like, you want some too, big boy? You better go back in that house. I was like, big tough this day, big angry savage barbarian Mike. And it turns out the next day I saw this guy, and the entire right half of his face, like he looked like Two-Face from the original Batman cartoons. Like this half of his face was dark purple, like black purple, and his face was swollen out to like here. Like I hit him one time, and his eye was swollen shut, and his whole face was like Two-Face from the Batman. And he never looked me in the eye again. Never again did he look me in the eyes. And I crushed his eye socket. He had to have facial reconstructive surgery. I changed his life forever with that one moment. I don't think that what he did was okay, but my response was out of line. I was raised that you don't put hands on women, and that people that do should be taught a lesson. You know what I mean? Not in those words, but that's how the Scovilles roll. We're not into that. We don't abide that. And the whole mom thing, I probably should have rocked his head a little sooner, if we're talking about Scoville standards. But and that shook me, dude. That from that spawned a bunch of legal troubles. Very lucky that I don't have a felony. That is felony assault or menacing or something. I don't know. They tried to hit me with all kinds of shit, but that changed my life forever. I still owe restitution on that. And that was like the beginning of the end for Em and I too. We broke up pretty shortly after that. But I say all of this to illustrate part of my character. I used to be very violent. I used to not be afraid to throw hands. It used to be normal to me. And I was raised to view fists and fights as a tool, right? As a decider, right? As a conversation ender, right? Like it wasn't like a savage thing. Sometimes that was what we needed to do, kind of thing. And after this experience, I didn't know what was real. I didn't know what to believe. This was a part of my core belief system. You don't hit women, you don't abuse women, and you don't treat women like that, let alone speak to your mother that way. Holy crap. You should. No one needs to hear what this man said to his mother, but it's abhorrent. It was the things of nightmares. Yeah, and that really shook me. My whole ideal system kind of took a hit there. Like I didn't know, what's the word? Like my pride, like the ground that I stand on was no longer stable. That was a rock I could stand on and die on. You know what I mean? Defending women, and no longer. That rock had betrayed me. That rock had landed me almost in felony prison, basically. So, and today, my view on it, I'm not really a big fan of fighting. Like if I have to literally defend the safety of me and my loved ones, like I'm down. But like if I were to go back to that day, like in hindsight's 2020, the danger was over. He had removed himself from the house. He's mouthing off to his mom. Okay, like I don't like that, but I mean, we're not in danger. There's no reason for me to seek out destruction. There was no reason for me to seek him out, and put my fist through his head. So that's the lesson there. That's the lesson that I take from it. Yeah. What do y'all think about that? I know that one was a lot quicker and cleaner. It was a lot longer time ago. I was, I think, 19 when this happened, or 20. I didn't read any comments, guys. Oh my, I'm sorry. I hope he did too, but my gut tells me someone else had to teach him that lesson again. But we can hope. He definitely learned not to mess with me, which I don't think is a good lesson. I think that there's much better lessons out there. I wish that wasn't the case. I tell you what, Valerie, I can relate with this so hard, especially like when I was homeless. This was like part of my armor. Valerie says, I was raised in an extreme environment that made violence normal. Going out into the world was a trip. I even still walk around with that outward attitude of, I will go absolutely ape in 60 seconds. And I'm not saying that like I was raised in an extreme violence environment, but like I would walk around like that 100% of the time to defend myself against whatever. Being homeless was no joke, dude. I tell you what, there was lots of interesting characters. And everyone's trying to get over on everyone. There are those, like, I don't know, at the end of the day, everyone's trying to look out for themselves, so you can't blame them. But it was a very dog eat dog kind of situation. So walking around with this outward attitude of absolutely ape in 60 seconds served me for a little while. That's funny, Mr. Ray Ray. I know that my teeth problems are from not taking care of them. I've definitely been punched in the head a bunch. I've got a bunch of scars from being hit right on the button. But Fort Collins, Colorado. Guacaholic, where CSU is, Colorado State University. I remember the first time I set foot on campus, I was like, wow, this is paradise. There's so many beautiful people walking around. It was like I was on like a grassy knoll and it was just serene. It was so cool. People riding bicycles. I was like, oh, this is good. This is way better than downtown Aurora, Illinois. It's way better than Lake Street, dude. I agree, Izzy. What is the more effective system? We definitely need to come up with one. Like, but where do we go from there, right? Where do we go from here to get there? I agree. I don't think that violence is good, but it definitely serves a purpose sometimes, right? And I feel like we resort to violence when we have no other feasible option. And I'm not defending violence. I'm just saying those are the times when we reach for it. So if we were to find something that could fit the bill, I bet you we would reach for it less. From repeating offense, going from verbal to physical or fatal abuse. What exactly works as a deterrent on the legal side of things? Question mark. I agree. And I ask the same question. I don't know the answer to that. I think that this is a problem that's rampant in society today. We talk about toxic masculinity sometimes. Maybe we don't, but I hear about it a lot. It's something that's talked about often these days. And, we don't have a solution. Has that ever occurred to y'all? I mean, probably. This has probably occurred to the women a million times, but this is not something that that occurred to me. We do not have a solution. I mean, I understand the problem is because we were raised, like, I don't know, is wrong the right way to say that? But like we weren't taught to do otherwise. Like I was, but some people weren't. Some people were shown that's the way to do things. You know what I mean? And by shown that's the way, I mean like they were the receivers of abuse and weren't taught any other way, right? And I think it's a cycle. And again, I'm not an expert on this whole thing, but we know the cause. We know some of the causes, right? And we know that it is rampant. We definitely need to come up with a solution. And I think what we're doing here, connecting, supporting each other, spreading information and knowledge, sharing experiences, I think that this is a great step in the right direction, right? We are armoring and arming ourselves. But, I mean, if there's an abuser in your life, what are you going to do? How do you handle that? That's not only an emotional problem, but a physical problem. You have a physical problem, there's an abuser, but like you're probably attached to this person in some way or they're attached to you, right? Otherwise, I don't know. I'm sure that's not an end all be all. This is a very intriguing subject. I would love to dive into more. Auto forklift. You do. They just have a different name for it, Seventh Son. That might have been an inappropriate joke, so I stopped short. I tell you what, Shannon. I tell you what. I don't understand it either. This was a huge point of contention between Lucy and I. We had joint bank accounts. Like it wasn't that I was financially dependent on her, it's that like we were doing it together. So it was so messy. Oh my gosh. And that's how we ended up with the money that was mine being hers. Instead of closing the account, she took all my money and kept the account. Tara smiling. The joke. Maybe it's not a joke. Maybe it's real. I think it's a joke. Feminism was what I was going to say. I think it's funny. I think it's really funny. I'm a huge advocate for women, so you can't say that I'm being mean. I think it's funny. It's funny. Okay, good. I really wanted y'all to tell me that you find it funny too, because otherwise I'm like, I find it funny, but I'm also a jerk. You know what I mean? Now I'm not a jerk. I just find it funny. That's great. Fantastic. I'm hungry and I haven't said those words in a long time. I think I'm going to make some white people tacos. Bro, let's go. Your life is on the enrichment train, Mr. Ray Ray. I'm proud of you, big dog. You going to hang out in Discord with us tonight? Oh, absolutely. You know, something tells me you have some modicum of experience with what you're talking about, Izzy. And my heart goes out to you. I'm glad you're doing better. I'm proud of you. And also, for the record, I don't necessarily know your story, but it feels like you're telling it to me. We have a Discord, Guac. Let's get you in there. In the description of this video and on the channel description, there's a Discord link in the if you like hit the see more and it pulls down the description. There's a Discord link in there. Our Discord has a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. But when you first arrive, it's going to look like there's not very much going on. And that's because in order to so we have a safe space here, right? It's obviously visual to the eye, safe, people sharing stuff, blah, blah, blah. The Discord is different. We can't set it up the same way and achieve the same results. So we have an application process. When you get in there, there's like the first couple channels you see will like one at a time guide you through what you're supposed to do. Yeah, you totally. Oh, Mr. Ray Ray knows. Hit the apply. Yeah. And if you need any assistance, there's a ton of us that would love to help you get in there. We pretty much get together nightly now on the Discord and just kind of talk until I go to bed. I'm sure that people are in there talking all the darn time, but I got to get up at 5 a.m., so I got to keep a nice bedtime. Miss Dragon, preach. Yeah, the whole system's effed, in my opinion. But something that's that intricate as our system, and I don't know, it's a different system in every country too. Like a system that intricate that's been built over that much time, how do you change it? You kind of have to tear the whole thing down, which is not a delightful prospect either. So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. At some point, I think it will have to be reset because it will be so convoluted that it won't be serving anymore. It does seem like there are a bunch of flaws in the way that our countries and systems are run, but it also seems that nothing's fallen in on itself yet, right? There are holes in the system where stuff's not working well, right? Like what you're saying right here, the economy is made so that both people have to work, leaving child at home, hands of the state, more work, more taxes. They don't care about family, just money. I totally agree. Somehow it's still working. Somehow the country's still existing. Yeah, just check out Miss Dragon's video yesterday. Apparently, she has talked about this topic. That is awesome. I want to know what you have to say. But yeah, what do we do? It's not it hasn't failed, right? But there are people suffering that are falling between the cracks. And honestly, everyone's suffering in some way or another because of some of the ways the system's set up. I don't necessarily have a better system either. It's such a convoluted topic. Yeah, everyone go subscribe to Izzy's channel. It's awesome over there. I've been using her vocal warm-up videos, even though I'm not doing extreme singing, I'm just talking. I still find it very helpful. I do not have issues with pain in my throat anymore after my shows. Shout out to Izzy and her vocal techniques. I appreciate. Economic orphans at the hands of the state. They say, give me a child till 7 and I will give you the adult. Not my kids. Yeah, Tommy Bird, I totally threw you under the bus earlier. I don't think you deserved it. It wasn't anything serious. We were having a good time, but I admit to throwing you under the bus earlier. But I hope you're having a wonderful evening, and I'm so happy to see you. Mr. Ray, do you remember the Doritos Locos Tacos, the fiery taco shells? Man, those things were wonderful. I don't know what it is about the fire sauce at Taco Bell, but I could literally drink that stuff. Yeah, I can post it. Actually, I still have it pulled up because I have to, for some reason, one of the exercise number 2, the Chewbacca noise, I have a really hard time doing. So doing it from memory doesn't work. So I have to watch Izzy do it, and then I can do it. So that's why it's still. I don't know if this is the channel that y'all are talking about, but this is the channel that I'm talking about. Headbang Harder 9292. And the ranch, yeah. The volcano taco. I don't know if I ever had that, dude. Oh my. You didn't do anything, Tommy. I honestly forget what we were talking about. Is your Wi-Fi working, Brazy? Because I'm gonna wait for you before I pull the trigger on that. I was hoping that I was gonna get away scot-free and nobody mention it, but now that it's there in bold letters, let me know when you're ready. We'll drop. Jacob Skousen. I gotta still get you a care package, dog. I'm gonna be in Salt Lake at the end of June. I will be bringing with me some hot stuff for you to play with. I need to write that down so I do not forget. And that charger, dude, I can literally just bring it to your hands instead of mailing it. Was that not the one I should have shared, Izzy? Uh-oh. I think that you are very patient with me and give me lots of grace, but I feel like also that sometimes I try your patience, and I hope that that's not the case. Yeah, will you post the right one? Because I don't think I have it. Baja Fiery Mango Chips. I did. I actually was at the store with Uncle Johnny, and I turned and I said, "What is that?" And I said, "Uncle Johnny, look at this." And it was those chips. And we got 2 bags. I hated mine. He loved his. I remember when I saw the thumbnail for his review video, I was like, "You liked those? Man, these sucked." I threw away half the bag. I was like, "I'm not going to finish these." I have not eaten yet, Davey, but I did eat, I guess, a late lunch. I'm definitely hungry. I'm going to go eat, I promise. It's time. Clutching my pearls. All right. Yo, this stuff from Grizzly Heat, the stuff that Rhett gave me, stay spicy. Pepper people. Polar bear. This stuff like takes paint off my tongue. Like not only does it have that heat burn, but I feel like it's like actually physically burning my tongue. Like afterwards, my tongue will sting. And I don't know what the deal is with that. Not a pleasant feeling. I really, really enjoy the initial drop of this tank. It's powerful. It really hits you right where it counts. But the aftermath on this one, and I'm not saying can't cramps or fire hole or anything like that, but just like the way that my tongue feels after the heat's gone is like just pain. It's pure pain. And I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I'm here, but 4-second delay. Okay. So yeah, we're going to do. I guess I don't need my tongue to buy milk across the street. We'll do the rat one again. We're gonna do it for science. Yo, my hair is getting weirder and weirder. Sometimes I'll wake up and it'll be doing this thing. It's so terrible. Oh my. But I don't know if I told you guys, I think I'm committing to growing it out. Like I can just picture it double this length and it's beautiful. I can't wait. I missed it. I miss it. I miss it a ton. I can always shave it off later. So there's that. All right, let's get a Tink set up here. Why does it look offset? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay. For science, yeah, I want to know if my tongue is going to hurt again. After the show yesterday when I did this, I got in a Discord with some of my nerd buds that are playing Diablo, and I'm like, "What's going on, y'all?" And they're all playing Diablo, and then I realized that I was drooling and breathing and just like generally having a really difficult time being normal on audio, and I like had to leave. I was like, "All right, I gotta go," because I didn't want to drool and breathe on their ears, you know. And dude, I only did like this much. This stuff's real hardcore. All right, y'all ready? I wish someone could count me down. That would be so exciting. But I'm going to go for it. It bounced onto my tonsils. It was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. For science, it's worse than it was yesterday. It hurts like a biscuit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, dude, my ears are on fire. It's this one, not this one. Rhett, you're a monster, dude. Just kidding. I love you, Rhett. My ear hurts a lot. Oh. That wasn't fun. I don't like that one. I don't like that one at all. Holy crap, dude. All right. I'm getting out of here. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. I'm shooketh. I'm all kinds of shooketh. I'm going to go put my head in my pillow or something. Bye-bye.